Hello, everybody. Welcome to the TechRaptor Podcast. I'm Robert Scarpanito, your features editor.
Rutledge Doggett, site founder.
Andrew Stretch, slime editor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and Andrew's not here, so I didn't know what order to go.
Yeah, you just kind of jump in at a random point. You're good, right? Yeah, we're celebrating almost a year of TechRaptor podcasts out there in the ether, and to celebrate, we're officially kicking off Andrew Otten. He is no longer on the pod ever, at all. Yep. He will not be here next week.
He sent me a game that I'm now addicted to, and he just doesn't exist anymore.
That was the final straw for you.
Yep. He keeps giving me games that I get addicted to.
Is this gonna kick off whatever the next wave of Kitten's game, Kitten Corner is? Is this how bad it's gonna get?
No.
Is I Love Arrows as addicting as Kitten's game or no?
No. But it is super. It's like right up my alley. So he's figured out like what games will just like really get me, and he'll just like every once in a while like, hey, check this out, and then 4 days later I'm very, very deep.
It's gonna get to the point where if we do ever like actually get rid of him, you're gonna have to like have him as a game recommendation retainer to be like, yo, you got any more of those upgrade games? Got any,
He's got an algorithm just for Rut. It's specifically tuned for Rut, but he has the perfect algorithm to find the match,
Yep.
I mean, that sounds like job security to me. So like, all the more for it.
Yeah. What's that worth to you, Rut? 6 figures, 7 figures?
Yeah.
This week we're actually talking all about Slime Rancher 2. Just came out last Thursday. It's in early access, so it's not 1.0. I think it's going to be in early access for a while. But if you've been playing that, we're going to chat about it later. But first, let's get into some news. Some pretty big news because it's been kind of nuts. I guess Grand Theft Auto 6 is a thing, guys.
Did they officially announce that?
I mean,
absolutely shocked.
They said they're working. They said we're working on the next Grand Theft Auto project, and everyone was like, "It's probably 6."
Yeah,
it's looking a little more like it is 6 based on the hour or so of leaked footage that has been propagating all over the internet in the past week.
They've been quickly DMCAing.
Yeah. Allegedly, this hacker is a 17-year-old kid in the UK who was just arrested. And is the same person who allegedly hacked Uber.
Yep.
It's bad to get caught that early.
Why? What's next? CDPR?
Well, no, I just mean like,
Witcher 4
kind of be one of those things like, hey, if he got caught when he was like 60, then that's like a
his age. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you meant like early in his crime spree. Like
no. No.
If nothing else, he's got great job offers coming as a security engineer. Like
in jail?
Probably. I don't know. I mean that's how the private sector works. Typically, you hire black hat hackers to do white hat cybersecurity stuff.
Yeah.
Be a fantastic pen tester.
For real.
So we now know way more about GTA 6 than Rockstar maybe intended, but also just with the caveat of it being a leak. And I guess just so you know, when a game isn't ready yet for launch, a lot of the stuff in it isn't final. So
the art. Listen to me. The art is done first.
The art is done. You're right. It's actually pretty close to launch. I think it's launching today.
Yep.
Yeah. But no, so there's a lot of stuff in there that would probably most likely change between now and when you can officially get your hands on GTA 6. So what you quote unquote know is probably not going to be the final, or at least there are bits of it that won't. But it seems like those leaks or those rumors of like it's a Bonnie and Clyde-esque man-woman duo protagonist thing seems to be on the money.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and according to Rockstar, a lot of people were worried like early on, like, hey, is this gonna delay the game? And Rockstar's like, yeah, no, we're good. Mm-hmm. This is gonna have no bearing on our development cycle.
I mean, if anything, that probably shows just how far out they are. That it's like, well, we didn't even have a release window, let alone a release date at the moment. So, you know, there's nothing to delay because that doesn't exist.
I haven't even done a trailer yet. Like,
like don't delude yourself. This is at least 2024, and that's optimistic. I guess
for sure.
For a game of that scale, you're looking at a significant amount of dev time.
And hey, they've still got Red Dead Redemption 2 online content to make too, right?
Right,
because they're supporting that.
Everyone loves blinging out their horses
with armor.
Oh boy,
exactly. It's gonna be set in Vice City if all the assets are to be believed. And I think I saw somewhere that like there are actually some mega fans who are looking through the leaked footage and are piecing together the map, which is an intense amount of dedication that I don't think I will ever have.
all of those fucking GeoGuessr players.
Yeah,
they're just like, oh well, this street sign is likely that street sign from a 3/4 angle, which lets us know that this street continues into this photo where this gun store is, and you can see that in a reflection in the hood of a sedan over here. So that it's just
like that's too much. I can't.
Or it's like the people that basically do that like random Google Earth thing where it zooms all the way in and then they figure out where they are from that.
I totally agree. It is definitely like GeoGuessr.
Yeah.
Like they're the kind of people where there's a shot of the sky, they can like triangulate based on what the stars look like. And
a pirate?
Yeah.
You're talking about a pirate.
You're talking about pirates, yeah.
Do you guys not carry an astrolabe?
Yeah, obviously.
Gotta break out your sextant.
Yeah. And as you might expect, I don't know about you guys if you've seen a lot of the quote unquote discourse around the leaks, but it's been kind of annoying as you might expect. Like there are people who of course hate the fact that it's a woman, it's a female protagonist in my Grand Theft Auto game. Like
lots of big gamer moves this week.
Yeah, lots of big gamer mode things here going on. Yep. Like who gives a shit? You're still doing the same dumb shit that you would in every GTA game, you know?
You can still pull somebody out of a car and run them over. Like
I've been loving. I mean, I'm one that already like loves getting interested in understanding the building of a video game, and getting to see, well, if it's in stage A now, how will it look in its full release? A lot of people had some very dumb hot takes about how the game looks and everything, and it's like, well, it's 2 years out. It's you're seeing the work in progress. But someone on Twitter made the best comparison that it's like Rockstar got pantsed, and then in solidarity, so many game studios are just dropping trow around them, posting all of this really fantastic, really interesting footage of like early alpha cuts of their own game. Like seeing Little Big Planet was a really cool one. Horizon with the gun.
Yeah,
because it's just like, oh yeah, we're testing the systems, and we had shit for like Killzone, right?
Yeah, because they didn't have assets for bow and arrow yet, let alone like their weird ass bow and arrows in that game.
It's just this blocky dinosaur with different colored pieces on it.
Like
that was super cool.
Yeah, no, it's been fascinating looking at all of these like early alpha renditions of games, and I mean. It's also weird because at the moment, as we speak, there's all of the footage and stuff for the Skate early alpha that looks the same. It looks like shit because they're just not done with how it looks. Yeah. So you've just got blank gray areas and basic polygons, and it's just crazy to think that. We've got the Skate fans over here that are like, oh my God, it's a new Skate game. And they have their hands on it and it looks like shit and they're playing it. And then Rockstar gets leaked and the game looks way better than the current progress of Skate, let's be honest.
Yeah, like and it's not just polygons.
People are just shitting on it. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Wait, are you telling me that they don't? It's not just a bunch of people get in a room, think about a game, and just kind of manifest it into existence overnight? Is that not how game dev works?
No, that's
game
the
dev
metaverse.
You walk into your 8 monitor setup, and your keyboard just has 2 buttons on it. One says make game, and the other one says fix bugs, and they just keep alternate smashing those 2 buttons.
Right. They play a round of Donkey Kong, the bongo game, the Donkey Kong bongo game with it.
Donkey Konga.
Donkey Konga.
That what it was? Yeah.
You just play that on the buttons, and that's how you make a game. We should know. We work kind of in the industry. We're professionals.
Yo, if you guys ever have the chance, if you guys ever have the chance to play the Japanese versions of Donkey Konga, that shit's life changing. It's so fucking good. It's got all of like the anime openings and stuff.
Oh, nice.
So you just get like a bongo rendition of a Full Metal Alchemist opening.
Hell yeah.
Now I need to find this.
It's so fucking good.
So do you guys want to hear the most capital G gamer take I've heard this week?
Yes.
Or seen on Twitter. So in response to all of the devs, the other developers in the world sharing, like, here's what Horizon Zero Dawn looked like in early development. Here's what all of this looked like. Someone I saw on Twitter, I shit you not, said, wow, look at all these game developers going woke. So now showing early footage of your early video game is woke.
What does that mean?
I don't think it means anything.
They've just, oh man, that term means
I don't
nothing.
even have a reply for that.
Yeah, right?
It's like, this is something that I didn't like, therefore
woke.
It is woke. It's like, okay, cool story, bro.
and also, how can you look at early footage of a game and have an opinion on it in a way that's like, I don't like it enough, or I'm going to call it woke. You know, like, it's early footage of a game. Of course, it's not going to look the best because it's still work in progress.
I mean, is it just because there's a playable woman?
That's probably part of it. It is pretty woke if you think about it.
Oh,
hey
man,
guys,
that's pretty bad.
Beyond Good and Evil, woke.
Yeah, so woke.
Tomb Raider,
woke.
It's a bad Uncharted ripoff. They went woke.
Yeah,
it's just you know, it's horrible what they're doing to the game industry.
Ripoff.
Yeah, Nathan Drake did it first.
Yeah.
We all know.
Yeah.
Oh, man, it's
been a week
brought up
of
discourse,
Rockstar, G2, and all the stuff around that. And yeah, it's just been it's been one of the, and then everything going on with Twitch, where it's just been like this, and it just keeps going and snowballing.
And Maroon 5. That's been fucking the highlight of my week on Twitter.
Holy fucking fuck.
Oh man, that's so great.
That body of yours is absurd. Yeah.
It's like a horny 14-year-old. Love it.
Yeah, there's been a lot of gamer discourse in the past week, and another big flashpoint for people is Video Game Dunkey's Big Mode. The big YouTuber Video Game Dunkey, you've probably heard of him or seen a video of him.
You've probably heard his voice at least.
Yeah, or you've seen him spoil Xenoblade 3 recently. He is starting an indie publishing label he's calling Big Mode, and he published a video about it, and it's very, have we all seen the video here?
I got the internet's reaction worth of Cliff Notes, so I'm going to be an absolute
Twitter's
expert.
got you covered.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, where he kind of talks himself up. You know, I've played a lot of really good indie games, so I think I know I can pick the right projects. But the whole idea is people pitch him their game projects. He sifts through it, and using his judgment and taste, chooses games that he likes and financially backs them and promotes them, I would guess, just like what any publisher would do.
Yeah, so game publishing.
He's a publisher now.
I think my favorite take I've seen all week was I don't remember who it was, but they're like a veteran publisher of 20 years. And he's like, okay, so only publish good games. I cannot believe that I did not figure out this formula 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's definitely a level of arrogance with that, I think. And part of it could just be the persona. And I think that could be, you're kind of mingling him as an entrepreneur as well as him as kind of a personality, which is where that arrogance might have come in. And maybe it wasn't obviously intended that way, but that's the character.
Yeah. Well, because he has a history. Positives to it. Yeah, he has a history of being a joker, but also serious. So it's like, where's that land?
Yeah,
it definitely feels like the messaging could have done better.
Yeah, I think if he had done it out of character, it might have had more impact. Where it's just like, hey, like, here's what I'm doing. Here's my goals. Here's what I hope to accomplish. But he's got a huge platform. So I feel like anything he backs and uses that platform to promote has a good chance of at least getting picked up by a fair portion of who follows him. Yeah. So it's less high risk than other deals potentially for some indie devs, but it'll be interesting to see what the first game is that he decides to back.
Yeah, I feel like generally I've seen mostly negative reception to this, which, you know, because I think a lot of it is what you said earlier, Rudd, of like be a publisher, but only publish good games. Why didn't I think of that? Right? Like, there is a little bit of that, you know, Dunkey thinks he can just jump in and do this, right? And I think, there is that arrogance paired with he's never really published a game before. It's a recipe for, you know, looking like you're trying to fill in shoes that are too big for you. But at the same time, he has like 7-8 million subs on YouTube. Anytime he releases like a review video, like that's a lot of eyes who are looking at it and like, oh, okay, if he likes that game, maybe I'll check it out, you know? And I mean, he even occasionally releases videos where like it becomes discourse, like the Xenoblade 3 shit, you know, like. So even if he is a little arrogant, like the second he drops a video of like, guys, here's my first big mode game, the first game I'm publishing and helping, it's this, that's already like, I don't know, 10,000 wish lists, 20,000 wish lists at least.
Yeah, I think it'll be cool to look at the data throughout that first one. Like, okay, here's the day it got announced. Here's the wish lists on Steam or whatever. I think it'll be. It's the first time, I'm guessing. I don't know for sure. I haven't dug too deep that a YouTuber is kind of converted to publishing.
I mean, didn't Yogscast do something?
Yeah, Yogscast did their stuff. And I'm consistently still giggling at Dr. Disrespect's scam that he has going on.
There's that. And then I think Game Grumps too, didn't they do like
Game
Daddy,
Game
right?
Grumps did.
Game.
Rooster Teeth did.
Yeah. So this isn't the first time we've seen like YouTuber personalities get in on the other side of the coin. Yeah.
I'll be curious to see if this one's successful.
I did see some people comparing it to the Yogscast publishing and how the first couple games were very rough, but they stuck with it. And I mean, and also like they're a publisher, you know, the publisher helps with funding, with getting the advertising, the messaging out, and putting the game out. They normally have very little input on what is being created. They might help, you know, with setting some ideas of expected deadlines. I mean, depending on the relationship.
Most publishers set the milestones in the timeline. At least from
it's
what
also
I understand.
like, you know, if a great concept gets pitched to Dunkey and they agree, they sign contracts, and then shit goes awry, or it doesn't meet scope, or, you know, it just doesn't like nail what they're going for, you know, I bet that this first game is gonna do its thing, and then it's gonna be, oh, why did Dunkey's game suck so bad when he had nothing to do with it?
Well, that's the unfortunate thing about clout, right? Is once your name's attached to a project, when your name is as big as Dunkey's, like it's going to be Dunkey's game, you know, like he didn't make it himself, but
yeah,
it's got his seal of approval, like his financial seal of approval.
Every article about it's going to have his name attached to it.
Yeah.
He might have done nothing but said, yeah, it looks good, and signed a check, but congratulations, that's Dunkey's game now. And
yeah,
I also wonder how his fans would react to his promoting of his games on his channel, as well. If, you know, the people who go to Dunkey for, you know, dumb meme content or his take on games, his reviews and stuff, you know, how much is he gonna be able to say without getting, you know, called a shill or, you know, anything, or people, you know, if trailers for his games start appearing, just flat trailers start appearing on his channel, then like, oh, suddenly this has gone from a personality account to a marketing account.
Right.
Yeah, I think that's a good point.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough line for him to straddle, right? Because like I said earlier, he's a half joker, half serious sometimes, and he rides that line so haphazardly that like it can be hard to approach sometimes, right? Like, is he being serious in this moment or is he not? So when you throw in that third layer of now he's kind of going to be a marketer, it's like, is he going to be serious about marketing? Is he joking about the, you know, like, I mean, there were people who, when he published that video about Big Mode, they were like, this is a joke. Is this a joke? Like, is he mocking publishers? You know what I mean? And it's like,
yeah,
no, this is real. And if this is real, let's see where it goes, right? Yeah.
I think I, like Rut, I'm interested in like the logistics of it, but in the same way that I would be interested in the logistics of, you know, understanding what's under the hood of any publishing company.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot to relationships in the gaming industry that is interesting, whether it's, you know, devs in the audience or gamers, devs and publishers, and just development in general, as we've seen from the GTA thing. I think that there's a lot of opacity that not a lot of people understand. And maybe he'll be upfront throughout the process too, because that could be a cool exercise in terms of him now publishing, having the audience that he has, and also maybe spotlighting the process along the way. Like that, to me, that would be cool, to kind of see someone who's never been in publishing, never actually been in game development, kind of document that journey from start to finish of, I've signed a game, I've published a game.
Right.
That could be cool. I don't know if it'll happen, but
yeah.
I saw another funny comment on Twitter as well. It's like, yes, you know, how dare he go from being a YouTube personality to being a video game publisher and not do it, you know, the right way. And then it's like, well, what is the right way? There's no such thing as a right way to get into video game publishing.
Right. Yeah. And I just don't get the people who are like angry about this, like, especially those who are like, you know, it's kind of that idea of how dare they forgive student loans when I paid my loans, like they need to suffer like I did, right? It's like that kind of feeling.
Yeah.
And here I'm thinking, Dunkey is a pretty successful YouTuber. I'm sure he wouldn't start up this business venture, because that's what this is, a business venture, right? He wouldn't start it if he didn't have the money to burn and do it, right? So like, if he ends up publishing a bad game, that sucks for him, but like, what are you losing? You're losing nothing, right? Like, except for maybe some respect for Dunkey if you're a really big fan or something, right? But like, you have nothing to lose and everything to gain from this, of it potentially being like, okay, Big Mode's one of your new favorite publishing labels because they released a game that you really like, you know?
Yeah, and it offers up more potential for indies. So, you know, if you're if you get signed by them, there's a chance you do well, and you've got that financial backing you need to run the studio throughout development, which is the hardest part of indie development. Is you've got to have some sort of a financial backer to be able to get that game from start to finish, because it's not just like, if you think about it, you're not just paying, you know, 10 developers for 6 months to develop this from start to finish. You're typically looking at years and full salaries and benefits and space for everyone to work and all that kind of stuff. It's not cheap. So having another potential person who can put money behind potential, hit indies is not a bad thing.
Mm-hmm.
Despite the medium being very crowded at times with the number of releases, this puts potential indie devs in a better position than if they were just self-publishing.
Agreed.
So,
yeah, because I think there's a pretty big contingency of people who like what was it, years ago now, when Dunkey released that video about game critics. He was targeting us, the game critics, about how with influencers and YouTubers, there's like that built connection where it's like, if you watch Dunkey for years, you know what kind of games Dunkey likes and doesn't like, and how that compares to your personal taste. So that way you can kind of judge better. Like, if Dunkey likes that game and it's XYZ type of game, I might like it too because it hits Y and Z for me, right? So this is just that same relationship, but extended into a financial place.
Yep.
So I'm curious to see where it'll go.
Same.
Yeah. Of course, it'd be named Big Mode. Fucking Dunkey. Last story we have in the list here. Cyberpunk is also going big mode. Turns out Cyberpunk 2077 is good again. Always has been good.
Excuse me. Yeah.
Okay. So you're in the I told
I
you so.
thought you were going to go the other direction and we were going to have to fight because
of Pan Am. Is this all just for Pan Am?
Hey, no, it's if Rut does enough good PR for Cyberpunk, then maybe Pan Am will say his name.
Okay, that's what this is all about. This is all for the Pan Am relation, the PR.
What a simp. Look at that face. Look at that smug face. What a simp.
Which you can see at youtube.com.
Excuse me while I go sort through my photo mode photos again and post them on Twitter.
Oh God, don't post cringe on main, dude.
He's going to have to scrub his whole timeline for that, my friend. So last week we talked about the Cyberpunk Edgerunners anime that's out on Netflix. There's probably quite a few people now who have finished it. It's only 10 episodes long, and we can probably prove it because after that anime came out, a lot of people jumped back into Cyberpunk and or bought Cyberpunk for the first time, the video game for the first time.
Been in the top sellers all week.
Top sellers all week.
Their No Man's Sky moment.
Yeah, this is their No Man's Sky redemption moment, I guess, because they released an anime. Well, not even like it was Trigger and CDPR, right? But yeah, so they are doing well, and Cyberpunk is good again / has always been good.
It's now also had 2 years worth of updates. And they've said, hey, this next update is the last one for last gen, and we're gonna be pushing forward for new gen only and announce the DLC. I think this is the perfect storm of giving people reasons to hop in to try it again. I still haven't played it.
Should.
It looks good. I haven't played it, but it looks good.
I'm expecting my new PC to come in about 2-3 weeks. So I'm probably gonna wait for that and then give it a shot.
RTX on maximum.
Yep, but not 4th gen sorry, 3rd gen RTX, because they're locking that behind the obscenely expensive graphics cards.
Yes, and they're like, we're only gonna get more expensive.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Yeah.
Can't wait to pay $1,200 for my next card.
I saw the most adorable photo of a 4090 with a mini ITX board on it, and it looks like the GPU is wearing a tiny backpack. It's adorable.
It's like your graphics card comes with a PC.
Yeah. It's unreal.
And that's the machine you'll need to play Cyberpunk in the best quality at highest frames, best quality, all the polygon.
I was playing it on high with a 1070. So
really?
Yeah.
So you haven't even seen Pan Am at her best.
He definitely can't handle her at her worst.
Well, yeah, I reinstalled it this week, and now that I have a 3070 Ti, so we'll see if it's any better quality wise.
So right, you're one of them. You're one of the jumping back in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
you
I
haven't
just
seen
had
the
to
anime.
finish 100%ing my most recent game. So,
Right. But you haven't seen neither of you have seen the anime, have you?
not
No,
yet.
I
It's
have
on
not
my
had
list.
time.
Interesting. Interesting.
I had to watch Andor first.
Right. So right, you legally can't boot it up until you finish the anime, right? Otherwise, you don't follow the news story we're talking about.
Okay, fair.
Yeah, fair.
It's installed. I will not boot it until I finish Edgerunners.
There you go. Yeah. I mean, it's funny to see this happen after, because I'm pretty sure something similar happened after Superman threw away his cape and became the Witcher on Netflix.
Yep.
And the same thing happened for CDPR. So
I'm sure that they saw those metrics and said, guys, do you reckon we can do it again? Like, can we pull this off?
I think it happened with Arcane too. Every time there's some sort of a tie-in, you typically see a boost alongside it if said tie-in is good.
If it's good. That's the big caveat, right? Yeah. And Edgerunners was definitely good. And now everyone's going back to the game. Like, even I was kind of tempted to be like, maybe I'll boot it back up, see how it's going. But
how well do you think that the Halo TV show did for Halo Infinite, guys?
Yeah, so I'm probably gonna wait until 2023 for Cyberpunk. Are you telling me you guys didn't boot up Halo Infinite again after watching Master Chief fuck?
I didn't boot up Halo. Rewatched that scene a few times.
Uninstalled it, so.
Okay.
It's okay with cloud gaming. You can play it anywhere.
You could pick up your phone and play it right now. Right here, right now.
With the power of xCloud.
Yeah.
Chill.
But I think because Cyberpunk's Phantom Liberty comes out in 2023, that new DLC, right? So I'm probably gonna wait for that, just because it's already a massive game, and by then it'll probably be even better than what it is now in terms of like bugs and fixes and patches and all that stuff.
That's fair.
Yeah, but it's nice
cool to see though.
Yeah, get a second life.
Yeah, back in the day, if a game launched wonky, then it was just wonky. And while the idea of we can fix it in an update, isn't the greatest mentality to have, because it fails more often than it works out. Like in this case, it is nice that they could have something that they were so big on, so proud of, kind of get to a much better place, a much happier place for them.
Yeah, I still think it's interesting though that the narrative is still like, oh well, it launched poorly, but now it's good, or it's good now despite a poor launch. Like I don't think CDPR is ever gonna get away from just how much they botched that like it was literally unsellable on the PlayStation Store.
Like they lost a lot of goodwill.
Yeah.
I think whatever the next release is that isn't a DLC or whatever, I'll be curious to see how cautious gamers are about buying it.
Well, the next one's going to be that new Witcher game that doesn't have Geralt. Geralt, or however you want to pronounce
Geralt.
it.
Jerry.
I don't know.
I call him Jerry. Jerry of Rivers.
I wouldn't be surprised with the way that they continue to develop on like Ciri, and that this next, like the emblem thing that these new Witchers has is like a cat, right? Or like a panther.
I forget what, but it's not a wolf.
Yeah. Well, there's School of Cat, School of Griffin,
and wolf. Isn't there also bear?
There's one or two others. I can't remember. I don't know Witcher lore like immensely well, despite having all the books behind me.
You don't have them
weird flex, but okay.
No. Well, I just finished reading all of them this year, so there's a lot. There's a lot more than just Geralt. I think that they can dive into.
I'm sure we're going to see some big gamer takes on whenever Witcher 4 gets announced or shown off, or Witcher spin-off, whatever they want to call it.
What are you talking about? Are you saying gamers have big takes? They've been pretty tame and not bad
Super chill.
ever. Never have I seen a bad gamer take.
I mean,
There's not a Twitter account for it.
Yeah. As we go on, the clown makeup is slowly manifesting on us. Like,
yikes! I hate it all.
Yep. So let's talk about a good game and have our good gamer takes on Slime Rancher 2. All three of us have been playing Slime Rancher 2, early access. It's on Stretch. Do you want to say it? It's on.
It is playable on Xbox Series X and S and PC.
On what?
You can get it on Steam, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Cheeky bastard.
Anything else? Wait, so you have Steam on your Xbox Series X?
Yeah, you just what, Rain Meter? That's what it's called. What's the thing that lets you
you just sideload that into your Series X?
Yeah, why not? It's pretty much just a big computer anyway. I guess it's also on Game Pass. So
hey, there we go. Okay, got it. Okay,
checks in the mail.
It's a footnote, really.
Hey, don't do that again. Spencer might not give us the check if you do that.
It's actually funny that I have been playing it a bit on xCloud on my phone.
How does that run?
It runs great.
Yeah.
I recently put wired internet into my house. I used to have issues with like xCloud connectivity and stuff. Since putting my main media sensor computer off the Wi-Fi onto wired, xCloud runs flawlessly in my home. It is such a nice experience.
Incredibly unexpected.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I've been really digging ranching some slimes. It feels like the first game in the nicest way possible. Like it is so similar. I got onto the first Slime Rancher on early access when it hit Xbox as well. This one definitely is more features heavy. There's already like 18 different types of slimes. And you go around, you build up corrals, you get them some food, you feed it to them.
Crystals.
Yeah. Well, plorts, because there are crystals, but the crystals are not plorts. You harvest their poop and turn it into money.
And not to be confused with crystal plorts, which you get from crystal slimes.
Oh yeah, sorry, no. So there are crystal slimes that shit out crystal plorts, but then there's also diamonds that you can get. But I don't know what they do yet. But I've got like 5 of them.
Wow.
I know where they spawn. Just like hoarding shit. Like there's gonna be an update any day now. This is gonna be useful.
Like, it just came out, but the next update's around the corner, guys. I feel it.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's been a huge success, a huge launch for Manimi Park as well. They had said on Twitter that like their lofty goal was to get 100K cells, and they smashed that in 6 hours. And that, you know, I'm wondering whether that's even just talking about cells or talking about players via Game Pass as well.
Yeah,
because that's got to be
true.
That's got to be pretty stonked. I would expect that more than 100,000 people have tried it out on Game Pass so far.
Yeah, because I've never played the first game. So this is my first time sliming, my first slime time. It is cute. It's a very, very cute game. Like, just looking, especially the kitty slimes, the tabby slimes.
Tabby slimes are so great. And the cotton slimes.
Yeah, with the bunny ears.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's the 3rd highest selling game on Steam.
Wow.
That's wild.
Yeah. So it might
After
actually
Cyberpunk, or before Cyberpunk.
Of course. The success story of Cyberpunk. So yeah, that might actually be then 100K real sales outside of Game Pass. Yeah.
So how far are you in it, Scrappy? What have you experienced so far as a new rancher of slimes?
So I've been to the lava island. So there's the main island that you spawn on, right? Like that's the main big one that you get, like pink slimes, cotton slimes, tabby slimes, right? And then I've been to the lava island, and I have unlocked the other island, because if I remember right, I think there are only there are 3 islands in this early access build so far, right? From what I've read.
Yeah, that's what I've found so far.
Yeah. So I've unlocked the other island. I haven't been to it yet because I'm still trying to figure out what I'm enjoying about the game is that there are parts of it where I'm like, man, I wish I could do this. Like, this is kind of annoying that I have to do it this way. But eventually there are upgrades or things or gadgets that are like, oh, okay, I can do it that way that I want to. Like warping. Like, I was kind of annoyed for like, you can only carry 4 things. And you have to run out, run back to home, run out, back to home. But then there are like little things that help you along the way, like the fabricator. Like there's one of those fabricator deposit points out in the island, the first island, so you can like drop off materials that you don't need, but then you can build warp things, you can build more fabricator deposit points, right? So like if you keep getting the resources you need, you can eventually make it far more convenient for yourself. So it's kind of like the highway in Death Stranding, but less painful, because that highway makes the game playable. You just have to slog through 30 hours to build it. This is like just an hour or 2, and you get the convenience you need, you know?
Yeah, there's a lot of fun, like building up of resources, making things easier as you go. I know I just unlocked an item that will let me create a teleporter that will take me to that Starlight Isle. The island in the south. So, after building that, I won't even need to run out to, where that is. I can just build a teleporter for it, which is going to be so nice.
Yeah, that'll be nice.
So much retreading of ground.
Because like all I have right now are the one-way teleporters, like back to home. So I just built one of those in the lava island. So that's going to be nice to have, but I still have to do the one-way trek to it. Yeah.
One thing that I really like in the original game, all of the upgrades just cost coins. They've done a really good job expanding that in this game so that the upgrades are coins, but can also be plorts and other materials. I love the fact that plorts are getting used for more than just selling. I hate having to go out and gather all of the other resources.
Like the
like the non-port stuff.
Yeah. It feels like in a game where you're trying to be automating a lot, like the auto feeding, the auto collecting of plorts and stuff, that there's still a weird disconnect happening to, well, you need these things, but there's no way to get those, and you can farm them, but they're on a timer. So good fucking luck.
Yeah, like I've kind of settled into a rhythm where I grab those whenever I have an empty tank, but then like try to think in my head like, okay, I need to, like, my goal is X, I need to route my way to a fabricator deposit point before I get to X. That way I can drop those off and still have the empty tanks for more stuff later. Yeah,
and like I've got the upgrades that lets me have 5 tanks, and each of those tanks can hold 40 of an item instead of the 20 that you start with.
Wow.
But I still get to the problem. It's like I might only have 1 or 2 of 5 items, but hey, I want to pick up one of those 6 items over there. Please let me do that. Like, I've got all of this space, but I can't like cross mingle what I've got in my inventory.
Yeah, I have found that to be probably my biggest pain point so far, is the very limited inventory you have, which I get as part of the gameplay loop. I think I'm still feeling out whether it's one of those, like, it's just annoying enough, but you have enough solutions for it, or if it is just annoying,
It's just annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. I think there's just a lot of running because of it.
Going to different places and unlocking more and getting behind the fat slimes to get new upgrades and stuff. I think that there is a lot that is quality of life hidden behind gameplay, which I really enjoy. I'm hoping that there will be more stuff that will ease a lot of that running, like an immediate teleport out to a different island. I know I've just got an item that will let me like shoot stuff in one location and it will come out another, like not just even for the refiner, but for just like anything. Because I'm even having issues where, you know, I've got my farm spread out among like the 3 or 4 locations,
right?
And it's a pain in the ass to, you know, get my 100 boom plorts from all the way over here back to the central island, back downstairs, or like to the central area to sell them. Like even that's taking time.
Yeah, I have wondered how that's going to feel, because I've only unlocked one of them so far. That's like where I stopped, is after I unlocked the first like extra space. But I was thinking through like, okay, this space I'm gonna have like these slimes, and I'm gonna grow this type of food for them, so that way I know like all of it can be contained in that one ecosystem. But then it hit me like, oh, but I have to sell the plorts, and even if I vacuum them up with the nice automation upgrade, like I still have to run them back and forth with my 30 per item slot right now. That sounds like a real dick. I kind of hate that idea.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that some of the future updates have a little bit more to the automation, because that's really where these type of games shine. Is like, yeah, up front it's a big lift and a lot of like manual labor, but then you figure out the automations and things get, you know, things accelerate, and you can kind of figure out cool solutions to different things. I'll be curious to see what they kind of roll out as they get more community feedback, which is really the whole point of early access. We've seen early access games change completely because of community feedback.
Like
Fortnite and the Cycle and No Man's Sky.
Hey, are you guys still enjoying Fortnite Save the World? Do you guys like that part of it?
I've never played it, to be honest with you. I went straight to the VR.
I don't think that they ever officially put it out of beta. Like they just killed it.
Pretty much. Just wiped out Tomato Town.
Yep. Yeah, because I think there's a part of me that's like, I kind of want this to be like Satisfactory, Factorio, like that level of automation, or even like Tectonica, right? But
even something as simple as like, hey, I've got 100 plorts saved up in this area. Like, can I hit a button that says send to refinery or send to bank?
Yeah, send to market.
Just like, boom, wipe it, move on.
Yeah, or like if you have 2 plots next to each other, and like one is growing the food for the slimes and the other in the corral, then like
connect the two.
Yeah, it's just conveyor belt, like, so carrots go right into the feeder, and the feeder just constantly feeds it. Like that would be kind of nice, right? I don't know if that maybe shows up later, or like that's planned in a future build maybe, but yeah.
I don't think that they ever got to that level of automation in the original game. But you know, we'll see if they're planning on like taking kind of like, if here's where we stopped with the original game, how can we expand? Yeah, I would hope that further automation is part of that, and it's not just expansion in terms of more slimes, more plorts, more things to collect.
Right, because like when I was playing through that early build of Tectonica, that other factory building type game, one of the greatest feelings in that is like, okay, I have this huge domain, like it's a humongous space. It's annoying to get from point A to B, right? But once I've taken this small sector of point A and I've like built it out, resourced it out, conveyor belted it out, suddenly I never have to go there ever again, because I have it feeding all of my resources to me at point B, right? So that's like, I don't even need to travel. And that would be kind of nice to like, maybe after a couple hours of play, like when you unlock like the extra ranch areas, at some point you've automated it to the point where you never have to go there unless there's a problem. That would be kind of a nice feeling. Like after hours and hours of work and effort, you've automated a system that works for you and you don't have to travel there anymore, you know?
That'd be really nice.
Yeah. Because that's where a lot of the satisfaction comes from. These type of games that have that automation is like, you build out this cool system and you're like, yeah, This is awesome.
And it's always usually pretty uniquely you too, because you're gonna fuck up, you're gonna make mistakes, and you're gonna have to put on bandages.
Like, well, I guess I've got to restructure everything.
Yeah.
God, the number of times I've done that in Satisfactory.
Yeah, so that would be kind of cool to eventually have, where it's like in one of your like offside ranches, like you farm 4 different types of slimes, and you have all the plots like feed into that those slimes like with the right food, etc. Like that'd be kind of cool.
But I mean, like, I've already put in probably 8 or 9 hours to the game that came out like yesterday.
Yeah.
So,
at the time of recording.
Yeah. So, you know, I think that they're onto something. Look forward to watching it as it updates through the.
It is a very like chill vibes game too. Like, it's the music is delightful. Cute. The environments are neat, and you know, there's not a lot of tension. So it's just kind of you running around, sucking up slimes, putting them in pins, and making them poop.
Yeah. And also the art direction. I just want to call out that the art direction is amazing. Like, it's not, you know, photorealistic. It's not trying to be a Death Stranding, but like everywhere you look is so pretty, like out of a like a children's art book kind of vibe, you know.
You're gonna love the Starlight area.
Yeah, it's
so cool. The South Island, it's all like royal blues and like deep purples. It's so cool. It's so nice. It's just fun to be in the world.
Nice. Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to that, because it's just like, even like if you just stand there and look at the slimes and watch them interact, it is so adorable. It's like, you know, there's people watching, then there's slime watching. And slime watching is top tier.
When they do the adorable, like when they stack on top of each other.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. To try to get out.
Cute. Yeah, well, like even just out in the wild, like I was walking around in the wild, and there was a honey slime with a pink slime on its head, a pink slime on its head, and another honey slime on top. And they were like trying to move and like waving around like a wacky wavy inflatable tube man. And it was like, this is fun.
That's cute.
I've turned this corner, and they're having fun, and I am smiling, and everything is okay in the world.
This is how you know everything is fine now, right? Yeah.
This is a great game to eat an edible and just vibe.
Just chill. Yeah. Like, here's one thing I also hope, devs, if you're listening in the future, pet the slimes. Just a button to pet the slimes. Maybe not like the crystal or boom slimes, but like
a still give you the option.
Yeah, you know, if you like to live
dangerously. Little pain, little gain.
Yeah. But that would be great. Just a little pet on the slime, and then your hands all slimy and gross.
Like this, like in Ghostbusters.
Yeah, you have to like shake it off, right? Question for you guys, for especially maybe Stretch, or maybe the most guides minded here, is it more efficient to farm a basic slime but feed it its favorite food so you get double the plorts, or to always fuse and make like a Largo?
Always fuse.
Because
whenever you feed it, because when you fuse slimes, they like what food type they'll eat becomes combined.
Right.
So for specifically like the meat eating slimes, which, you know, gaining and maintaining meat as a resource is a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
If you can pair that with something that just wants like a Q-berry or like a fruit, feeding them still nets you double plorts, and it's double of both of them. So if you take
2 to 4. Yep.
Wait, when you feed them their favorite but they're fused, their favorite still works?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Because they take the favorite of both of them.
Oh, I thought it nulled out the favorite, and so you were getting double, but instead of like double, it's like you get 2 different ones. So
no. So it'll be that, you know, if you fed a pink, like a pink cotton, pink will eat anything but has no favorites.
Right.
Cotton's favorite is the water cabbage.
Right.
So if you feed a combined one, just a single water cabbage, you'll get 2 pink plorts and 2 cotton plorts.
Oh shit. Okay.
So like currently my pink cotton enclosure that has like 10 largos in it. I've already got max capacity in the plort collectors, and then the floor is just filled. And they're just rolling around in their own filth, and
Beautiful.
They're looking very happy. But yeah, no, for efficiency wise, I actually have put out a money-making guide for like how to get set up, how to get started, what are some like important things to go for early. But yeah, feeding them their favorites, that's huge.
And you can see that at techraptor.net if you'd like to see the guide. And that's actually another question I have. What's the maximum you guys are putting in your enclosures? Like per
I didn't even count.
I aim for 5 to 10, like closer to the 10 side. At the point that you're generating like double by the time you go out and come back. Money doesn't matter. You very, very early get to a point that money just doesn't fucking matter. It's really just you want to make sure that you don't have. So plort generation is not a problem because of how automated it can be. You're going to be spending so much time going out and picking up the different like oil resources or these gems or these crystals or whatever, that by the time you come back, you're going to have like 50 of a plort. So you're not going to know what to do with it. And you'll end up with 100 banked up and them just littering the floor because you have too many plorts.
Too many plorts. Interesting, because I've been keeping 20 in an enclosure and I'm fusing all of them. So I have 20 largos per enclosure, and it's a mosh pit for all of them.
Well, because you know what happens if they get a hold of a plort that is not their color, right?
They go tar plort.
They go tar, which is just gonna fuck shit up. It's better to play it with like 5 to 10 that are getting fed their favorite, so that it's essentially like you have 20 per enclosure. But you have zero risk of them breaking out, especially when you get to like boom slimes that like their explosion propels others.
Right.
So there's a higher chance of them hitting that air net and doing damage to it, and you just don't want them getting out.
Can I be honest with you, Stretch? I have boom crystal slimes. So they explode and they do the crystal things.
Yeah.
And I have 20 of them in an enclosure with an air.
God damn.
You're flirting with disaster, my friend.
It hasn't died yet. Like the air net's still fine.
I think I've got maybe 5 or 6 boom crystals of slimes. That's it. Like I don't want to fuck with this. This is not today.
I've got 20.
Living dangerously.
I really am.
Cool guys don't look at explosions, and you look behind Scrappy's character and it's just a giant tar monster coming up at him.
Are there like upgrades later too where you can like fight back tar monsters? Like you can boop them away? Like
you can get
a
like
water cannon.
Yeah, there's an automatic water cannon that you can get, and then also you can get like an additional like slot on your cannon, but it's specifically a water reservoir. And if you shoot them with water, then they'll explode.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So yeah, you can fight back.
Gotcha. Yeah, I think I did not expect to enjoy Slime Rancher 2 as much as I did, because I kind of always thought it's like, oh, it's a cute little game, maybe like a couple hours and I'm done. But I'm kind of itching to get right back into it, or we're done recording this. Yeah.
It's pretty. It's got a solid gameplay loop that'll keep you kind of coming back. And then when you hit that kind of end of it, then just wait. They've got a pretty robust roadmap, I think, at least from what they've kind of.
So it sounds like we're about to hang up this call and just all hop on to Slime Rancher.
Give us multiplayer. God, can you imagine?
Yeah, multiplayer, especially for like the limited inventory. Multiplayer would be huge.
Okay,
that'd be so big.
Yeah, but also imagine like your shithead friend being like, "Oh, what's this? Some pink tabbies? I've got a cotton plort here. I'm just gonna throw it into that little
rock slimes at you."
Yeah.
So just shooting them a friendly fire.
Yeah. But no, Slime Rancher 2, great little game, very cute, cozy, fun. Like, what else could you want, right? But I think that does it for this week's episode of the TechRaptor Podcast. We hope you enjoyed, and if you did, please feel free to leave us a review on whatever platform you're listening on, or leave a comment down below on YouTube or on our site. Let us know, have you been playing Slime Rancher 2? What do you think of it? Are you having fun? Is it too similar to the first? Are they making some good changes? Let us know down below. And feel free to hit subscribe as well if you haven't already, so you always get new episodes of this show. And if you want more, you can see techraptor.net, where we're always publishing news, reviews, and features all throughout the week. But more of this show will be in your feed next Monday. We'll see you then.